Hello, hello. This is Blues with Saturn Blues Gaming. As you guys can see, I changed the hair on my avatar. This is not the regeneration. And I kind of want to make a kind of a partner video to the last video I talked about regarding, racism in the VTube community and things like that. And yes, this is from Hades. I love this song. Anyway. All right. Joking shoes off here. I'm absolutely sick of the whole I love it when people are shit human beings, where they can sit there and just act as they want, say what they want, and then when they start getting repercussions, that's the quote, right? The cancel culture Rob is coming after me. Now, like I said, I'm going to regenerate, so I'll be in a new form, and I don't know what that form will be after this. But even if, that form becomes something like people really like, I'll still be making videos like this, because this problem is, like, talking about it more may get people to dislike you, but at the same time, they only dislike you because they don't want you to ruin the image that a lot of VTubers have. They look at, ooh, pretty anime girl, and just gives them carte blanche to do all the shitty things, Fucking hate it here. But anyway, I guess I'm just tired of it. Like, to give, like, I said it a few times, but I live in the US. I live in the United States. I'm sorry. I live in the separated regime of America, led by the fascist 47. Okay? I don't care if that sounds controversial. I really don't care. I'm calling it as I see it. I did not study history for as long as I did to ignore history now when it's lining up. Yeah, it's a lot more incompetent, and they tried to bull rush it through. They tried to rush through the whole, this country has freedom till this country has none. They tried to do that really, really fast, and it kind of backfired on them. But at the same time, you know what? That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. But anyway, like I was saying, the thing that makes me laugh when it comes to horrible bigots is they truly don't understand how fucking stupid they really are. They would rather, and you know what? I could say this is just about VTubers, but I said it in the last video. It's such a, like, VTubing is like still, like, despite, worldwide VTubers having millions of views and things like that, like Marin, or before her, Gura, or Mori Calliope from Hololive English Smith. God damn it, GG. I could never not call Mori Calliope of Hololive English Smith by just her name. I hate it. But and also that's kind of funny too. I bring up Mori Calliope because a lot of people just let her past life slide. And I can understand, oh yeah, people can change, blah 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 blah, but it's like, we don't know that. we don't know if a person can change. Like on the outside, they can portray themselves as a normal and decent person, but at the same time, they could still be a horrible racist. I'm not saying, you know, Maury Calliope of Hololive English Myth is that, not, you know, not at all. But I do not forget what is said, you know. And there's actually a bigger conversation to be had. Like, there's so many conversations about racism that we can have. We could have so many. Like, we can really break down why chattel slavery was the most, like, a lot of people just have indentured servitude. They don't know how to separate that from chattel slavery. Chattel slavery was one of the worst things a country has done. When fucking Adolfin Hitler, when he could look at what America did and go, that's not a bad idea, and then evolve it, you know they're awful. Like, we could talk so much about how racism at large has not only damaged and continue to damage, you know, Black people living in the United States. We could talk about how racism also hurts, you know, everyone in the United States. It's expensive to be racist. Like, people are so racist that they are ready and willing to lose their rights over that shit. They're just happy to see brown people gone and not realize that with every brown person that is shipped off to some fuck ass country to die in a fucking concentration camp, that their rights are being taken away with every single one. Like, it's very cost. Like, I call it, like, it has a term. It's drain pool politics. And for people that don't know what that is, when segregation was breaking down, I cracked my neck there. When segregation was being dismantled, a lot of, you know, white Americans had white flight, but the ones that stayed did everything they could to make a situation as shitty as possible for the Black Americans that were just trying to, you know, live a normal life. And there were a lot of stories where in a lot of those neighborhoods, there used to be a public pool. And when segregation was ending, instead of, you know, letting them have fun in that pool, they filled the pool with cement. It's the whole, if I can't have it, no one can have it. And so, and it's not just that, there are so many examples. And you see it throughout this time frame too, where everything that other minorities and Black people try to do, those specific white Americans will butt in. Oh, how come we weren't invited? How come we can't be a part of this thing? And then some doofus will let them in, and then they'll go, oh, it's too much this, and then they'll change it. Colonizer behavior, you know? And again, it's one of those times where I have to say, it's not all white people, but somehow it's always a white person. Like, yeah, minority on minority racism is definitely a thing. And that is a conversation for another day. And that's a conversation I feel like we all should have, especially like, you know, fuck it. I don't care if I get canceled. People, racism and colorism is so prevalent in the world. And it's sad because it's like, anytime someone sees a darker skinned person, doesn't even matter if their own race. They could be both Japanese, but one is darker than the other, and the darker person is immediately branded as insert derogatory term here. you know? It's absolutely killer. And there's something, like colorism is so prevalent, and that's because Europeans spread all over the world with like white is right. And a lot of people don't understand how deep that shit goes. Look at our food. Angel food cake. What is angel food cake? Kind of a yellowish white cake. What's devil food cake? Chocolate. So racism is so prevalent. The fucking ice cream truck has a thing. Matter of fact, I've had so many people tell me that they don't believe me when I say even like everything is racist, including the ice cream truck song. A lot of people don't believe that. So allow me to react to this real quick. Now listen to this shit. Look at the title.
Come on, chillin'. Why to cut a watermelon? Yeah, you George Washington, Henry Clay, Abraham Lincoln, Woodrow Wilson, Jackson. You and them Thompson niggas quit rolling them bones and come here and get your ice cream. Ice cream? Yes, ice cream. Colored man's ice cream. Watermelon. Well, I went down to Compare the other afternoon. There I saw a yellow girl, her name was Susie Lou. She was a-sitting on the rail, with the heel was in the sand. Eating watermelon, fit to beat the band. Says I'm a Suki dear, will you give your heart to me? She see my honey boy, busy don't you see? The juice from the watermelon trickle down the chin. Make you sick of hungry now until you like sin. Then a nigga love a watermelon, ha ha ha. Nigga love a watermelon, ha ha ha. Hit up the bank when we have another tune. And there's nothing like the watermelon for the hungry coon.
Need I say more? Need I say more? Do people believe me now? Do people believe me now? Straight there. It's just right there. And what's funny about the watermelon thing is the reason why that gets so much hatred is back in the day, like, you always hear the claim, oh, chicken and watermelon. The truth is, with watermelon, whenever, you know, there would be black people on a train, black women would sell watermelons and give them, or not, I can't remember if it's sold or give, but either way, they would give people on a train watermelons, you know, because it's a long train ride. And a lot of people, and a lot of you know, white people, like, oh, they love watermelon. And as for chicken, a lot of times back then, chicken was like really the only thing they could eat. So it's like chicken and watermelon. So it's absolutely brutal, you know? It's absolutely brutal. And like I said, racism is so uniquely intertwined with America at its core. There's nothing, and a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand, or they refuse to understand. So to round it back off to the whole VTuber thing, a lot of like this I said in the last episode, in the last kind of talk we had about this particular VTuber and how we all know they're dirt, but people still defend them. And I don't know how I feel about that without crashing out. So I think the best thing I could say is this. I fucking hate it. Like, I hate that they're that we live in a world where people can have all the proof in the world that somebody hates another person for the color of their skin and will do everything that they can to defend that person. It don't matter, like, they can show that they're racist, they can show that they're homophobic, they can show that they're transphobic, they can show that they're a horrible person inside and out. They could show them eating an orphan baby. It's such a, they could show them, you know, eating an orphan baby, and you still have people playing devil's advocate for them. That's how 47 won. Like, I've never seen, and a lot of like other countries in the world doesn't understand how deep the racism goes. Like, you can have somebody from Africa, like, they know who they are, they know everything about their family line. A lot of Black Americans don't know that stuff because it's been ripped from us, it's been taken from us, and there's no way we can ever find it back. My last name, guess what? My last name came from the Irish. It is an Irish last name. Why was it an Irish last name? Right? It's just, racism is such a poison in society. And you have people actively relishing in it until the consequences of relishing in it come up. And then it's all of a sudden, oh, they're being mean to me. The woke agenda, which is just bullshit. Like, and you know what? That's another conversation for another day about how people will, like, how one word will be in a Black person lexicon for like their entire life. Someone else hears about it, and then it becomes bastardized to the point that no one knows the original meaning. They just know what the new meaning is now. Like, it happens all the time. Woke was the latest one. Now Black exhaustion is the latest one. Black exhaustion. Like, before anyone else hears different, Black exhaustion is basically a thing we coined because we're tired of the racist conditions of the country that we live in and how they will repeatedly cut you off at the knees for something you can't even control. And people are already shifting that to, we're just tired of Black people. We're tired of hearing about, you know, they're racist. We want to stick our head in the sand and pretend this problem doesn't exist. It's actually horrendous. Like, I actually straight out hate that it keeps happening. And I wish there was a way, like, Black people on its own can gatekeep. Because it's not just that. Like, a lot of people don't know that a lot of the slang that, like, Gen Z uses is just AAVE. African American vernacular. I can't remember what the E is. But people just contributed to Gen Z when it's not. Literally everything that Black people bring up or create, it becomes watered down, bastardized, and twisted into something ugly. And it's exhausting. And fucking Kirsch wants to talk about cancel culture because they're a horrible person and they're a bigot. I'm the victim. Me. I'm the victim here, guys. All I said was that transgender people don't deserve to exist. They don't deserve laws. I only said that, you know, Black people are lesser. Like, I can't even understand the logic. Because there is no logic to understand. They're just horrible people. And anyone who defends them are horrible by association. because they know this person is terrible, but they will play devil advocate until they're blue in the face. Well, you know, about, you know, they're not racist. They're not racist. It's just, they have this thing, right? And they have this thing. Shut the fuck up. Like, I can't understand. Like, I can understand people being racist in a sense that they're horrible people and they don't deserve any amount of happiness until they, you know, get set on a better path for themselves. But for people playing devil's advocate all the time, are you just blind or are you stupid? Like, are you stupid or did you take lessons? Those motherfuckers, I took lessons. But the problem is, people know that a lot of VTubers have this issue. They'll use a slur. Like, they could be Moi Calliope, where they just lose a slur, or they can be Kirsch, where they fucking throw, where you look at bigot in a dictionary and it's just Kirsch going, no, I'm wrong. Kirsch is like a fox girl, right? So they just go, that's how they will look with their picture, and they would do it proudly too. And the thing is with racism, especially in like the YouTube like realm, is that it's so insidious. Like, for example, I used to watch Internet Historian, and it wasn't until recently where I started to pick up a lot of dog whistles in his videos. And then I was like, is this dude actually racist? And then this is where we introduce HR Bomber guy. And his fucking Google document call out. He made a call out post on youtube.com about plagiarists. And Internet Historian was one of them. Like, there was a whole, like, I don't know if people know, because, like, he's never responded to it, but, like, look up his old videos. Like, people were able to save them. Like, he's gooning over Tucker Carlson of all people. And that's, like, the least of his worries. Like, I don't know what it is about, and the funny part is, a lot of these racist people, they act like, you know, like I saw an article about people celebrating, like Joe Rogan, where he was celebrating, oh, you can say the R slur again, the slur again for mentally disabled people. We got our word back. It's like, why would you want to celebrate being a terrible person? Like, I get it. Like, here's the thing. I get it. I lived in the age where that word was widely accepted. Like, I used to like put myself on blast here. I used to say that word because back in like the early 2000s when I was in school, like literally up until like 2008 when I left school, was when people started to take a uglier, like when they started to really go, no, this word is terrible. Why are we all using this? But back when I was growing up in school, like even like before then, people would just use that word like willy-nilly, you know, because it was so normalized. Like if you watch the episode of The Fresh Prince where Carlton and Will are it's a very special episode where they're racially profiled and they get arrested and they're in jail, and Will starts to sing to try to lift Carlton's spirits, and Carlton goes, Will, that's R-worded. When I say that word was just all over, it really was. Like, it was deeply entrenched. And there was never any blowback up until like 2008-ish. And then people stopped saying it. So all these, you know, culture warriors talking about, yeah, we can say it again. We can say it again. It's like, so you wanna say a slur? You could always say that slur. You can always say it, but there's always going to be consequences for it. And their victory is we can say it without consequence now. And it's going to be a real fucked day when people are able to say the N-word and not get consequences. Actually, no, we're already there because fucking Charlotte Hendricks and raising nearly $1 million from calling an autistic Black 5-year-old the N-word with a whole chest. It's just hard. It's a horrible situation. You know, and you know, white people are tired of people, like, they're tired of hearing it. Imagine fucking living it. Like, imagine your first memory being like being called the N-word. Like, imagine people keep throwing it in it. Like, imagine how, like, being a Black person in America is the worst. And people will say, well, if you don't like it, leave it. Guess what, bitch? Everything that Americans have and they enjoy, a lot of the shit that's been created, Black people created. Like, people, like, a lot of people talk about how Black Americans don't have culture. Bitch, we are the culture. We created the culture. Everything that America has, from its swag, from the music, like, there's so much history with Black people in music. We created the blues, we created rock and roll, we created country. All these, like, a lot of the genre of music that people attributed to white people, no, Black people created that. Y'all wouldn't have peanut butter without us. Can y'all live without peanut butter? No, because peanut butter is fucking delicious. Sorry. All I'm saying is that racism is uniquely intertwined with America. And all these people that want to be racist, they're getting their consequences. And that's whether, you know, they get ousted from a job or lose their gamer subs or anything like that, or they lose things like healthcare or Social Security or anything that directly impacts your life. Racism is expensive. And Kirsch is finding that out, and I hope she continues to find it out because she's a trash person. I hope Asmongold finds that out. I hope every fucking motherless and fatherless, like, evil being, and I don't mean that like every you know, evil person is motherless or fatherless. I don't think that. But these people, either their mothers taught them that, like, either their parents taught them that, or their parents weren't around enough for them to teach them not to be that. But whatever the case may be, they're gonna find that out. They're going to get theirs. 47 will get his. That one may take longer. And like I said, I'm pretty sure Civil War is gonna come in terms of that. But everyone gets their due justice at the end. Let's just hope the world doesn't, let's just hope when that happens, the world isn't taken down with it, you know? But yeah, this was kind of like spur of the moment. So I guess you could call this I don't know whether you want to call this a reaction video or anything like that. Don't matter to me none. I don't know what I'll put this as, but whatever the case may be, thank you guys for listening to my rambles on how shit this place is and on how shit, like, VTubers and shit are. And I hope that they, I don't even know what I hope. Because I want to think that people can change. I want to believe that people can change, you know? But in 2025, I don't think, if they haven't changed by this point, I think they're a lost cause. Like, Kirsch is a lost cause. Asmongold's a lost cause. There's no way they'll ever see the light. And if they do see the light, they'll only see it because it impacted them. Because a lot of racists, one of their defining traits is that they lack empathy in other people. They don't know how to put themselves in another person's shoes. They only impact, like, one of these days, I may just react to leopards ate my face, because that is a gold mine of people not knowing empathy until it happens to them. Fucking elongated muskrat, for example, went around with his golden chainsaw bragging about hurting people and costing them jobs, and then turn around and goes, oh, why doesn't nobody like me? I don't understand, why don't they like me? Like, I'm just trying to live my life as the richest man in the world, and turning, you know, a place that was free, with, you know, quotations, into, you know, apartheid America. I don't understand, you know, why doesn't no one like me? Why can't I play my games in peace? The far left, why? Like, dude, grow up. But ever since he, like, I want to talk about that fucking loser at length, but you know what I'll just say about him? He is a eugenist, and he's a white supremacist who believes in the the white replacement theory, to the point where all he wants are sons. And he got so pissed that his daughter said, I'm out of here, that he dead names her. He says she's dead, taken in by the far left. He is such a loser. I do not understand how people even like him. He's legitimately the biggest loser. Like, I've seen a lot of losers since November 5th. About 77 million of them. And he is the biggest loser I've ever, like, the thinnest skin, which is another thing a lot of these people share. They have thin skins. They can dish it, but they can't take it. They can talk about how, oh, I don't like, you know, black and brown people. I don't like, fuck immigrants, you know, fuck trans people. Yeah. Fuck all them darkies and brownies. And then they can say all that, and then immediately when they're called, oh, you're a Nazi. No, that's not true. And then they have to fucking perform magic. They have to perform like Simon Bowles level of mental gymnastics to try to clear themselves of that. And it's like, I'm reminded of a quote from somebody from The Boys. I can't remember, it's been a while since I watched it, but there was a villainess who was a Nazi, and she was with Homelander. And I think she says something to the effect of, a lot of people like me think the way that I think and agree with what I think, but they don't want the word Nazi attached to it. If they could find a word nicer than Nazi, then they would adopt that. I guess white supremacist is worse. Who knows? Anyway, this is Blues with not a lot of gaming lately. But this is Blues with Saturn Blues Gaming. If you guys want to see more of like my thoughts on shit, Or if you guys actually want to see what my channel is for, which is gaming, I'm doing an Amori playthrough, and I'm doing up until Act 1 of Claire Obscura Expedition 33 on this channel. I even cried in my last Amori game, but yeah. So if you guys want to see me yap and shit, or if you guys want to see me game and cry my eyes out, then hey, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, thank you all so much for your time. Until the next one, heck you grace, and farewell.